The RNC is openly rigging the first primary debate. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video. Today, it is time that we talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary. Because everyone, this is a complete and total disgrace. The RNC is now openly rigging the debate process. Because guess what? Perry Johnson, the candidate that by all accounts qualified for the debate, the RNC excluded him from the first debate, despite reaching the donor threshold, signing the loyalty pledge, and reaching the qualified polling threshold. This is a complete and total disgrace. What they did to Johnson and even a few others. We'll get to it. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright. So, if you don't know or have been living under a rock for the past 12 hours, Perry Johnson, who by every outlet, I'm not even kidding when I say this, New York Times, Politico, Fox, all of them, they had Perry Johnson qualified for the debate. Well, guess what? At the last second, the RNC pulled the rug under Perry Johnson and kicked him off the debate stage. You heard that right. And I read part of the timeline, and if this is true, the RNC is doing what the Democrats did in 2016 and 2020, just not as direct. So let's get into it. Let's look at the timeline. Internally, the Johnson campaign believed it had hit the polling threshold Thursday, August 17th, with the release of the Trafalgar National Poll in combination with the Harvard/Harris qualifying poll and Big Village qualifying poll. And that's on top of, Friday, when the release of the Trafalgar, Iowa poll, the Trafalgar, New Hampshire qualifying poll, and the Victory Insights national qualifying poll. So even if they disqualified a couple of these national polls, 2 of them, he still had 2 national polls that qualified, which would get him on the debate stage. Every major news outlet reported that Johnson had made the stage, including Politico, who had been keeping track of the qualifications with strict standards. 538 also recognized Perry as having made the debate stage and moved him to the major candidate status in their tracking. At 2:30 p.m. on Friday, August 18th, after the media reports were released, the RNC data department reached out to the Johnson campaign with instructions on how to certify the total number of unique donors. That's right. Last Friday, the RNC reached out to them to help begin certifying the debate process. At 4:30 p.m. on Friday, August 18th, the Johnson campaign officially received logistics information from Fox News and continued to receive logistics information throughout the weekend, including a scheduled walkthrough for staff and personal walkthrough for Mr. Johnson. So the entire weekend, the RNC was giving Johnson the information for, hey, this is what's going to happen on the day of the debate. Here's the walkthroughs, all of it. The Johnson campaign through an RNC-approved third party, submitted the report certifying 50,000 donors to the RNC at 12:15 p.m. on August 21st, and requested the Beat Biden pledge to meet the final requirement listed in Chairwoman's memo. The RNC confirmed the donor requirement had been met. At 2:03 p.m., RNC Chief of Staff Richard Walters sent the Beat Biden pledge to the Johnson campaign and notified the campaign for the first time that Johnson needed one more national qualifying poll to reach the threshold. This was the first communication the campaign had ever received from the RNC regarding his actual status in the debate. Now are you starting to see a problem? They told on August 18th, 4 days prior, or 3, that, all right, here's the information for how the debate's going to work. Here is the walkthrough for everything, etc. At 3:38 p.m., the Johnson campaign responded and sent along its 4 media-reported qualifying poll, which all met the RNC's threshold and asked for clarification. The Trafalgar National Poll, Victory Insights, the Trafalgar Iowa Poll, and the Trafalgar New Hampshire Poll. And this is where things get absolutely ridiculous. Because you could say, okay, maybe this was just a miscommunication and one of the other national polls, they may have sent a duplicate. That's one thing. But this is what the RNC said. Walters notified the campaign that the RNC was not recognizing the Victory Insights poll because it was a quote-unquote not a national poll. That assessment is completely misguided. Yeah, you know why? Because on the first page, it says National GOP Poll. This was a poll of voters nationally. Look at this. They had every region, the South, the Midwest, Northwest, every region. They had a poll. But they're not counting this as a national poll? Then what is this? The poll sampled 800 respondents from across the country per the RNC's guidelines. The poll was properly balanced by region. When conducting a state poll, you don't have to talk to someone in every single town/city for the state poll to be accurate. Regional balancing is not just common, but also the best practice and happens in every poll. The poll was consistent with the results of all other national polling. At 5:43 p.m., the Johnson campaign notified the RNC of its disagreement in that assessment and sent along a Newsmax/McLaughlin poll that again showed parity at 1% nationwide. The campaign sent a follow-up at 9:49 p.m. At approximately 11 p.m., just an hour before the deadline, Johnson received a call from Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel and David Bossie, explaining that the McLaughlin poll would not be counted either, and that he was not on the debate stage. But McDaniel/Bossie did say that any poll which left a particular candidate out could be a qualifying poll as well. The Johnson campaign sent the RNC the Harvard-Harris poll, which asked a question excluding Trump, in which Perry Johnson received 1%. Another qualifying poll. The RNC responded, claiming the poll was biased. Oh my God. This is a freaking joke, what they did to Johnson. It doesn't matter if he's at 1% or not. It doesn't matter he's a lower tier candidate. He reached the threshold the RNC set. Every metric, donors, polling, all of it. And you just start looking at this, and they even said that any poll with a particular candidate out could be qualifying. And they claimed the poll was biased. And apparently, this isn't the only person this happened to. Larry Elder, who, in my opinion, I don't think he made the debate. But the reasoning for Elder not being on the debate stage is even, I would say, not as egregious as Johnson, but still pretty bad. So, he claims he reached all the thresholds. Well, you know why they disqualified him? It wasn't because they said this poll didn't meet the sample size error. It didn't reach a certain, threshold. They claimed that Rasmussen polls have ties to former President Trump, an individual who is not even participating in the upcoming debate. That's right. They disqualified Elder for, getting rid of Rasmussen because they supposedly had connections to Trump, God knows when. This is a complete and total circus. It doesn't matter what you think about these candidates. Johnson for sure met the threshold. Every single outlet said the exact same thing. These polls are legitimate. They follow under the guidelines of the RNC. But the RNC said no. Meanwhile, you have Hutchinson and Christie openly mocking the loyalty pledge and saying they will not support Trump, but they're allowed on the debate stage anyways. Violating the loyalty pledge. Perry Johnson is bringing suit, and I think he has a chance of winning this, because you cannot just say this poll is not a national poll. Then what the hell is it? It has 800 likely voters of a national GOP electorate. And then any other poll they bring up, they just say it was biased. It was biased. I'm hoping Johnson's allowed on the stage because this is a complete and total travesty, what they're doing to him. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.